I'm not sure how good a footage we're going to get. It's pretty bright today, but I'm hoping to get some footage. Got the new battery in it. Remote is armed. And we're almost ready. Wow, I'm seeing this is an incredibly heavy battery for this drone. And this might not be as good as I was hoping because it is very heavy. Yeah, it's really not as strong as I would like. Now, it may get stronger in successive flights. They often do. This was supposed to be a non-rechargeable battery, and I now have charged it. It may take it a little while to break in for that. And it usually does, believe it or not. Oh, hey, that was rough. So I want to ascertain a couple of things here. Just gave it a little sniff to see if everything's good. We're going to turn up the sensitivity to maximum just for kicks. It's actually not that bad, but that's full throttle. And it managed to get pretty high, actually. So I think once this battery breaks in, it'll actually be pretty good. Let's see what it's like for speed, because really, it's actually getting better for altitude as this flight progresses. Oh, dude. I've dropped the sensitivity on this a little. Okay, so I had a little sensitivity issue there, and it ended up on somebody's lawn, but it's all good. I just had to go grab it. I actually landed it because I couldn't see it anymore. That's a good policy. So we're just going to keep it cruising and see what kind of run times we get. I still haven't really pushed it hard for speed, but mostly because with the heavier battery, it's doing a little bit of what it used to do in terms of wanting to drop out of the air. So we got some traffic here, so I'm just going to cruise gentle and slow. I'm almost afraid to even try a real trick because that's why it wants to drop out of the air pretty hard. That's full throttle, so let's just see here. It's not bad. You can see it's got some speed, but it's not incredibly fast. You can see it wants to drop out of the air pretty high. Like, it'll get good altitude if I don't give it any other inputs. But as soon as I give it other inputs, it starts to lose altitude. I actually recommend you fly this one on sensitivity 1, believe it or not. Your flights will be a lot smoother. This is what I'm doing now, and it's a lot smoother. But it's partly because we have a much bigger battery, guys. Now it's telling me my battery is getting low. I can hear it gives you a little beeping warning. But I do want to wear it down pretty good while I'm breaking it in, so we're just going to keep that up. I'm going to just give it some throttle here. Bring it back. I don't want to push it too hard when I'm breaking in the battery, but I do want to run it down. So I'm going to check this for heat. It feels nice and cool. That's one thing I'm liking about this over the other battery right away. The other one tends to get pretty warm, whereas this one tends to not. It didn't get warm at all during charging, which is nice. That's a good sign. It's actually doing very well here, but I do want to see what we get for total runtime before it really kind of gives up the ghost, because it certainly has not done that yet, even though my warning is still going off on the controller telling me, hey, your battery voltage is getting low. It's fine. It's actually doing quite well here, and it's not really significantly reduced its performance at all, so until I feel at least a little reduction in performance, I'm going to keep flying and give you guys an idea of what the runtime is like. And it's not incredibly unstable, but as you can see, with the heavier battery, it does suffer from a little instability, but that was kind of a big problem for this drone to start with. And now it's not so much of a problem, so it's definitely improved. Let's just see, we got 6 minutes so far, and we're going to keep going until, actually, no, we're not. Nope, we're good right here. For a first flight, that's pretty good. Like I said, you don't want to run it to be totally and completely and utterly dead, guys. Quick look at the battery. Also, take a good look at the underside of those rotors. This is making more lift, and they are a little lighter than before after the bits that I've removed, and it's a much smoother now. It is a better flying drone than the day I got it, but this is pretty close to the stock battery. It's giving me very similar performance to what the stock battery did, and you guys can see what I was talking about how the smaller battery is an upgrade. This one is slower. It doesn't climb as high. It'll drop out of the air when you're doing heavy maneuvering because it is a little bit too heavy for this, or at this weight, more power would be good, which is why I really like the other little ELF battery, because even though it's small MAH, it's feather light, and all of a sudden you get a real upgrade in performance capability. This one's pretty good. It's not giving me the runtime of the original battery, and with the glue gun glue on it and whatnot, it is heavier than the original battery. And I can see that in the performance of the aircraft, but it makes a fine replacement, and it did do the job. It gave me 6 minutes of runtime. That's not bad. It also didn't really heat up during that, and that was its first ever charge from brand new. And when you break in a brand new battery, they take a few charges to get broken in. And because this battery is of a sort that was charged once at the factory and then not recharged, haha, there's your key, it's going to act like a brand new battery. Anyway, that being said, I just wanted to come inside and give you guys the look so you can see that I really was flying the battery I just charged in the last video and showed you guys, and it works. But like I said, it's not the strongest performer. I did set it so that it had a fair bit of weight in the front and not as much in the back, so it would get a little more speed, and the speed wasn't too bad. But overall, it definitely wasn't a performance upgrade versus the battery that I had on it, which means that little ELF battery at only 350 mAh is still the best battery that I have for this, which surprises me in a way. I thought this one would take its place, but it is a bit heavier. Were this battery the same subscription as far as its specs go and half the weight, this would be a huge upgrade. So what you want to look for is this is the biggest, heaviest cell you would ever want to use on this. That being said, keep your cells light and 3.7 volt, and you can pretty much use anything you want. And as long as it's lighter than the stock battery, it will seem like an upgrade even if you get less runtime. In this case, it wasn't really bad, but I didn't get long runtime, not long enough to warrant the heavier battery and the substantially less performance that I didn't enjoy in this flight. It was a more boring flight, even though I had a battery with literally 3 times the power. Go figure. Keith out.